friends, welcome back to another episode of Musical People and Journey's new rock album review show. I'm Nige. Welcome to Paul, to Andy, to Cully, to Dom. After he's very new to the show, it feels like that. He's not been around, been working and travelling. Chris, you've been on travels. Welcome back. Well, you went cruising, didn't you, in February?
Oh yeah, that was a couple of months ago. It's almost like I've forgotten since then. I need another holiday.
It's all a blur, isn't it? No, so we're missing our rock goddess chick, Trish. She's, as Andy cracked me up earlier, pining for the fjords in good old Norway. So anyway, if you've not heard the show before, we review all the latest rock albums, rate them out of 5, see if they get into a Hall of Fame. Need an average score of 4 or more, even if they could get into the Golden Halls. If they get into our top 50 albums, or even legendary status. If it gets into our top 15 albums of all time, they become a MPJ legend. Will the first band make that? Because the signs are all there. Because it's the sign of the wolf with their album Sign of the Wolf, and we're all, we're all wolves here, aren't we? On the prowl, on the hunt for great rock music. So let's go to the alpha male, shall we? The oldest of the pack, Paul.
What an introduction!
I know.
Welcome back, Tom. It's been a while. I hope you enjoyed your Christmas. Anyway, look,
been that long.
Seems like it.
Love it.
Anyway, Sign of the Wolf has been put together as a tribute to RJD, Ronnie James Dio, and the bands that he was part of, namely Rainbow, Dio, and Black Sabbath. And the cast of musicians that have been put together have also played in those bands, or have at least some connection to them. However, the album is not a cover of RJD's songs. They're made up of new material that could easily, and I mean easily, have appeared on any of those bands that I've mentioned albums. It's a powerhouse of songs from a genre, from the keyboard work of the fantastic Tony Carey to the vocals of Andrew Freeman. There's a lot to like and admire here. What is surprising is that you're not aching to ditch this album to blast out to heaven and hell. And that's about the highest praise I can give this album. We'll see if there's a follow-up album with such a lineup of talent, but I'm not so sure.
Oh, okay. Andy, were you howling at the moon with this album, or?
Well, Paul set it all up very well. It's obviously like I think there's a songwriter called Bruce somebody or other, which brought the band together and has written a lot of the songs for it. The question about all this is: does it sound like a tribute, or does it sound like a continuation of those classic albums? As I said, obviously Dio being the sort of the powerhouse vocalist, frontman for it, and it's a lot. But is it a tribute or is it a continuation? I'd say it's definitely a continuation of it. It doesn't sound like a pastiche. It doesn't sound like it's, ripping it off. It sounds like it's just pure out of 80s metal heaven, this album. It's classic, melodic, heavy metal through for it. Great songs on there. Like Silent Killer and the title track, which was really good. All came together for me. Really liked it.
I'll just keep with the positivity here because Trish absolutely adored this album. Just to say, tracks like Still Me, Silent Killer, Rainbow's End, absolutely loved it. And she says, "All hail to the wolf as a sign of the wolf is a must-have for any lover of classic 70s and 80s rock." Now, Dom. I know sometimes you're on a fence with this style of 70s, kind of 80s sort of music. What was your vibe? How did you enjoy, not enjoy?
I actually really did enjoy the album. You're absolutely right. It's not my usual style. So I'm always listening to it with that little bit of a critical ear. But actually, I thought the album was great, really well put together. It's, epic melodic hard rock, really. I could hear influences from lots of those contributors. A lot of Sabbath sound in there as well. I think the Sabbath drummer, is it the drummer from Sabbath is in there? I think in playing. I loved Rage of Angels with that. It's got that 80s like keyboard intro kind of thing that just goes on and on and on. You got to appreciate it, really. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to write it off as a tribute. What I would say is that whatever it is, it shows that some Asian rockers can still rock when they want to, right? That's my take on it.
So, Chris, then I think you might well be the youngest of our collection here. What did you think? Did this take you back? Did this make you wish that you were in the prime back in the 80s? Probably not, because then you'd be a lot older, wouldn't you? So there we go.
There is that, I suppose, and it's nice to be in a room where I'm the youngest for a change. So I found this really conflicting because all the stuff that I would usually like to listen to is there, and they are all great songs. There's no way that, with the legacy of the people that you've got in the band, there's no way that they can't put something good together. Just look at the history of it. But it's big, it's brash, it's 80s, right? Like we said, really great rhythms, heavy atmosphere, lots of melodies and everything. But I just kind of didn't get picked up by it at all. It was just kind of, I was listening to it and it's like, this is all right, this is fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but it didn't grab me in the way that I would have expected it to, and the way I was with some of the other albums this month. By the time you get to there's a couple in there, like I think it's Albert McFry, is a really good, really fast, pacey song. But by the time it gets to the second chorus, it's like, really, do we have to do this again? And then Silent Killer starts off really great, and then it just feels like it's kind of, oh, we'll just walk through and. So I didn't find myself enjoying it, and I don't know why. I don't know whether it's just because it came at the wrong time or whatever, because it's a great album, but I didn't enjoy listening to it. And so I almost apologise for the score that I've given at the end, because at the end of the day, we rate this stuff on our enjoyment. And this month, at this period, with this group of bands, I just didn't enjoy it. So,
Absolutely.
But I should have done, I think. And I'm kind of confused as to why I didn't, but I just didn't.
There's a lot of times that happens where you just can't quite put your finger on it, and sometimes it's a mood, sometimes right place, right time. But yeah, it is a bit like that, isn't it? So I think and there's a couple of albums that because we've got a lot of bands coming back. Into whatever, and this didn't almost make it. I was going to put in LA Guns for review, but the album because we've reviewed two of their albums, but the album when I listened to LA Guns was so atrocious. It was so bad that I couldn't put it in. It was Whitesnake gone totally wrong. And I just went, oh right. So I went back and then went like, is Sign of the Wolf a generic kind of 80s rock album? From the one or two tracks that I heard, it was like in and ahhing whether to put it in, but I did, and I'm so glad I did, because the production and the quality, it shines through, doesn't it? In everything, all the musicianship, the production, the arrangement. It's just the quality is absolutely high class. Whether 80s rock is something that you like to listen to or not, that's aside. If you do, then it is something out of like, if this was in the 80s, it would have become a classic. It would have become one of the classic albums of its generation. It was that good. My standout was the German sounding name, Albert
McFry.
Yeah, I really liked that album. I love that song. That hit my cool playlist. I thought it was absolutely terrific. Cracking album. Not quite my perfect album, I would say. I think there were one or two songs that did, I agree, Chris, that did kind of maybe come a little bit generic, a little bit taily-offy, but cracking album. Oh, cracking. I mean, you could just tell that there was a bunch of very, very, very talented people on this album. Vocals were very good as well. Terrific. Right. Okay. Will it get into our Hall of Fame? Will it get into our Golden Hall? Will it even become legendary status? Let's find out, shall we then? Paul, let's start with you then.
Yeah, it didn't quite make the golden ticket level, but it got 4.5 from me.
4.5. Andy.
I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 5.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Trish, no shockers, also give it a 5. We're on a roll here. We're on a roll. Dom.
I gave it above average 3.5.
Oh. Chris.
I gave it a 5 with a 2 point in the beginning of it. It was a 2.5. And again, I will apologise for the rating I gave it because it definitely deserved better. But this month, at this time, it just
Carly,
didn't
don't
hit
worry
home.
about it. Don't worry about it, Carl, because I give it a 4.5. And we always lose one because only 5 count. And so goodbye to Chris's dismal 2.5 points, which basically means, ladies and gentlemen, that this incredibly good 80s style rock music got 4.5 rating, which puts it into our top 50 albums of all time. In fact, our top 20 albums of all time, joint, and is into the Golden Halls, ladies and gentlemen. The Golden Halls of the Musical People Journey of Hall of Fame. It is in grand company. So well done to Sign of the Wolf. And I think, you know what, Dom, I'm going to quote you. You know, doesn't matter how old you are, you can still do it, and you can still knock out absolutely super quality bands. And you know what's quite nice when they put a lot of times when the supergroup gets together, it doesn't always kind of gel. This gelled, this absolutely gelled, cracking album.
It was.
Well done to Sign of the Wolf. Congratulations. Hey, do you agree? Do you disagree? Like and subscribe, even if you're crazy enough, if you're rock enough. Thank you to my wonderful panel today, to Paul, to Dom, to Andy, and to Chris, and of course to Trish. And keep on rocking and tune in for episode 2. We'll be back in a minute. Bye for now.